just realized what the bottom up method is. It's not what I thought it was, y'all. This is the bottom up method. So this is what you're gonna do. Do not like this video.
Yo, what up, what up, what up, what up, what up? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on, good people? What's the deal? What's the deal? Happy Tuesday. Happy Tenacious and Truthful Tuesday. What's the deal? What's going on? How y'all doing? We are going live. We are here. We are here. We are here with another episode of SRDaily. What's the deal? What's going on, good people? We are almost live on IG. My phone had died, but it is up and running. It is up and running. Yo, what's going on? Happy Tuesday. Happy Truthful and Tenacious Tuesday. It is Tuesday, March 11th, 2025. Tuesday, March 11th, 2025. It is a special day, for it is my nephew's birthday. My nephew Tay, one of my favorite nephews, man, one of my favorite family members. The young man came into my life. All right, my sister gave birth to him just a few months after my dad transitioned, man. So I'm really grateful because he kind of gave me purpose, because that's when I really started to wish I was no longer here, right? But my nephew, man, reminded me of my purpose, and he's one of the reasons that changed my life, right? Later on in life, after being incarcerated, after going through all of the things, man, my nephew is one of the reasons I changed my life, because he said in 2007, he said, I didn't change my life immediately when he said this, but he said something that was so profound, right? In 2007, after doing 3 years incarcerated, talking to my nephew, he said, yo, you was here and then you was just gone. What happened? Why'd you leave us? He has a father, right? He has other male cousins and uncles and family and things like that. But I was his primary male role model, right? I was picking him up from school, taking him to school, bringing him with me to the community center, him and my little brother, right? Like, although I was in the streets, I had them with me, right? Cooking for them when my mom was at work, right? My sister did a bit, right? My sister was incarcerated. So, like, that was my guy. And then she came home and then I left. And it was a tough time for that young man. But today he is 29 years of age. He was born March 11th, 1996. Shout out to my nephew, Taquan Fuller. Sugar Tay, I call him. That's my guy, man. He has one of the most beautiful personalities. He is one of the most genuine, honest, funny. He's a very funny guy, man. He can voice imitate anybody. He can walk and he can mimic anybody on the planet, I'm sure, especially if he practices. I don't know if he's been doing it lately, but he used to mimic all of the family members. But yeah, I want to give a special shout out to my boy, Taquan Fuller. Happy birthday, nephew. Happy birthday, man. Yeah. So, yeah, happy Tuesday. Thanks for checking in. Yo, Mr. J Steel 19, what's going on? Vegan Thick, what's the deal? Thank you so much for tuning in. Great rising, peace and love. Happy Tenacious and Truthful Tuesday. What's going on TikTok? What's going on Facebook and YouTube? We are live on all of the platforms. Listen, take a few moments, invite 5 to 10 of your friends who may be interested in tuning in. We're going to have a great episode today. Today is a good one, heavy one, but a good one. Every episode is different, right? My energy feels good today. I feel better than I did yesterday. A little more confident, a little more excited, right? We know that life is a journey and it comes in waves and it goes up and down and no day is the same, and that's a bar. But yeah, let's pull up the notes, right? And let's get this thing going. We are going to start today's first segment on this. Listen, hold on. Before we get into it, it's a beautiful freaking day. The sun is shining. It was nice out. I've been out the crib since 7 a.m. out the door, right? Traveling, moving, making sure I get here in time to get things ready for today's show. It's a beautiful freaking day outside, man. If you are in New York City, if you are in the Northeast, please go outside today. We had a very cold winter. It seems like the winter is finally behind us. 60 degrees yesterday, 60 degrees today, 50 tomorrow, 50 for the rest of the week. Lows are not, it seems to not going below 40 right now, right? For the next few weeks, right? We can have a drastic cold spell, but right now we seem to be out of the cold. We seem to be out of the cold, man, moving into the warmth. My birthday is Friday. Super excited. If you are in New York City or you can get to New York City, I would love to see you at my birthday events. I am having an event on my birthday, Friday, March 14th, Pi Day, best day of the year. right? One of the only days to have a numerical value, right? Pi is important, very important, right? Especially for the nerds, for the mathematicians and the scientists and all of the people who care about those things, right? Pi Day, my birthday, 3.14. Friday evening, 6 to 9 p.m. I'm giving a talk. Let me talk I'm gonna talk some stuff: parenting, politics, dating, divorce, prison, incarceration, being shot. I'm gonna talk about all of the things for an hour. We're gonna have some cake, we're gonna have some food, we're gonna listen to some music, we're gonna celebrate. And then Saturday, the very next day, March 15th in the afternoon, 12 to 3 p.m., I am hosting a business launch and shower. I will be introducing my company, LaShawn Marston Enterprises, to the public. I am excited about that. I am nervous, but excited. What's the physiological, biological difference between them? Nothing. So I am very excited, but I'm also very nervous because I've never done anything like this. This is me stepping out from just an entrepreneur into a business person, and got to learn the business. I'm learning, man. I've been a hustler my whole life. I've been an entrepreneur my whole life. Learning that there's a huge difference between being an entrepreneur and building and running a business. And so I want to now, as I approach 41, cross over. Right, I've been an entrepreneur, like I said, pretty much my whole 40 years. I want to now cross over for the rest of my life to building a business, being a businessman. I want some employees. I want to hire people. I don't really want to call them employees. Like, I really want partners. I really want to bring people into the business, be able to pay them for doing what they do, and building a platform for us all to eat and thrive from. But with that said, today is episode 320. 320th episode, man. 320th episode, 320th episode. That is no easy feat, as I always say, man. It's consistency, right? And there are people in this world who say I'm not consistent. There are people in this world who know me say I'm not consistent because I'm not consistent in the way they want me to be consistent, right? But I'm very consistent. I've done the same exact things for the last 17 years, man. I've had the same exact vision for my whole life, right? But specifically for the last 17 years, man. Food, clothing, shelter, making sure people have, addressing the issues in my community. I've done the same exact things. But, people going to see what they're going to see, and it's all good. Yo, Seth Fusian Co for peace and love. Tuning in from Long Island City. Yeah, you are my brother, my freaking brother, my beloved brother. I love you, man. I appreciate you. I'm grateful for you. I'm proud of you and all of that good stuff. Mona Love, happy Tenacious and Truthful Tuesday, baby girl. Peace and love. Thank you for tuning in. Let's get this thing started with our first segment. Today's first segment, a word of the day. Today's word is a word that my lady uses, that I just used, that she just used actually also, and I got from her to describe Tuesday, and it is tenacious. Tenacious is the word of the day. Tenacious Tuesday. Happy birthday to my nephew. Yo, Mr. J Still, appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much for the birthday love and birthday wishes. I will make sure I let him know that my brother on IG sends birthday love to him. I'm going to call him as soon as the show is done. See if I can get up with him today, man. Show him some love, just a little bit, man. I ain't got much love to give. That's all I got is love to give. Let me stop lying. All I got is love. I ain't got much of anything else. I got love. I got ideas. I got energy. I got hugs. I got all of those good things. Positivity, upliftment, inspiration. That's all I got, man. But today's word of the day is tenacious. Tenacious is defined as tending to keep a firm hold of something, clinging or adhering closely, not steadily relinquishing a position, principle, or course of action. Determined, persisting in existence, not easily dispelled. Let's read that one more time. Today's word of the day, once again, is tenacious. Tenacious is defined as tending to keep a firm hold of something, clinging or adhering closely, not readily relinquishing a position, principle, or course of action. That's important. Not readily relinquishing a position, principle, or course of action. Are you tenacious in your pursuit of your goals? Are you tenacious when it comes to who you are and the morals and principles that you stand on? Right? Tenacious is also defined as determined, persisting in existence, not easily dispelled. And again, this is a good one, man. I think it's one of my lady's words, and she's right. We must be tenacious, especially in our pursuit of greatness. It's another bar. We must be tenacious, especially in our pursuit of greatness. I wish my man Eddie was here so he could take this, create a freestyle from it. You know what I mean? Put it in the oven and let's bake this. That was kind of corny. But yo, tenacious, man. Be tenacious. Right? Like, and embody this word. Embody this word. Like, make it part of you. Make it part of who you are. Right? Show up fearlessly. Right? I think I first started hearing the word years ago, watching basketball, watching sports, right? This is something that they use. Tenacious, right? Tenacious on the court. He's tenacious in his pursuit of winning, right? But specifically, right, firm hold of something, right? Firm hold of your morals, your principles, firm hold of your dreams, firm hold of your love, firm hold of your peace, right? Not relinquishing it, not readily relinquishing your peace, not readily relinquishing your faith at all, right? Not readily relinquishing your perspective on something, regardless to who's against you, right? Because we know that 1,000,000 people, 100 million people could believe something that could be untrue. It's happened, right? Millions and millions and millions of people have held beliefs, have held perspectives, have held thoughts that have later come to find out are not true or not accurate. So, like, be not easily swayed. Be not easily swayed, regardless of what somebody else says. All right, like, do your due diligence, and know what's happening. Yo, Tony MacArthur, what's going on? What's going on? Thank you so much for tuning in, brother. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate you. All right. But yeah, that's Tenacious. And like I said, I believe that we all must be tenacious. Not only should we be, but we must be in our pursuit of greatness and our pursuit of excellence. We must hold fast to certain principles, certain disciplines, certain perspectives, certain wisdom specifically, right? Like, especially when things get tough. I read something today and said your spiritual breakthrough is not found on a yoga mat or in meditation. It's realized in conflict. It's realized when you go through something. And for me, one of the biggest test, or one of the times when I was most proud of myself for passing a test, realizing that the practice had worked, was when somebody called me on the phone a few years ago and they were talking a little spicy, right? And it was a very sensitive subject, very sensitive situation. And I had to hang up on the person, and I cried and I meditated and I created a mantra. And the mantra is still one of my favorite mantras I've ever created. I got a moth in here. The mantra is one of the favorite mantras that I've ever created. Maintain your composure. Remember your faith. Keep your integrity. Maintain your composure. Keep your faith, and remember your integrity. That's the mantra I created after dealing with something that was extremely frustrating, annoying, with a painful situation and all of that stuff. But that's the word of the day. Tenacious. I hope that you all embody this word, embrace this word, and be tenacious again in your pursuit of excellence and greatness. This next segment, second segment, needs to know news of the day. It is not good news. It is very, very, very sad news. It is tragic news. And it is local to Queens, New York, right? And it's more local, Queens, New York, and black men. So I'm talking about something heavy, right? Yesterday I read an article on QNS.com, Queens.com, about actor Isaiah Stokes being sentenced in the murder of Tyrone Jones back in 2021. Some of you have heard the situation, have heard about it. Some sort of video. There was a video. There was a video. Isaiah Stokes is an actor. Was on Power. Was on a few shows, a few things, right? From Queens, he was rising. He was blowing up, right? He had a lot of potential, a lot of opportunity, right? But he was sentenced in the murder, right? Charged. Well, he wasn't sentenced yet, but he was charged with the murder that he committed in cold blood. He will be sentenced, I think, next week, 2 weeks. He will be sentenced soon, right? And this whole thing is extremely sad. Like I said, the brother had talent and potential. The other brother, I didn't know. The brother who lost his life, who Isaiah killed. I didn't know Isaiah neither. I've heard of him. I think I've seen him at some events over the years, right? With a few people I know in on that side, which is the side I'm originally from, South Side. You know, but yeah, he had potential, man. He had secured some good spots for his career, had opportunities to grow even more. And he took a life. He took a life over something so ridiculous, right? But let's read this article, because this is our news. This is our people. This is stuff related to us, right? It's not all good. Queens TV actor convicted of 2021 St. Albans murder and real-life crime drama. A TV actor from Rego Park is facing 25 years to life in prison after he was convicted of murder by a jury following a 2-week trial in Queens Supreme Court on Friday. Isaiah Stokes, 45, of 62nd Road, was found guilty of the fatal 2021 ambush shooting of 37-year-old Tyrone Jones in St. Albans on February 7, 2021, as he sat in a parked Jeep Grand Cherokee waiting for a friend to arrive for lunch at a nearby restaurant. The shooting is believed to have been in retaliation for an altercation between the two men at the victim's birthday party in October 2020. This was a calculated murder, Queens District Attorney Melinda Katz said after the March 7th verdict. The defendant, a part-time actor, stewed for months after being thrown out of a birthday party for his own inappropriate behavior. Like I said, I remember this. I remember the situation, right? This is my hood. This is where I'm from. I know people in the scene. I know people who know people. I remember this. This was absolutely tragic, right? Isaiah Stokes, like, again, he had great potential, man, but he didn't want to leave the streets alone, right? He didn't want to leave the streets alone, man. And this is what happens. You get caught up. Stokes, who was born and raised in Rochdale Village, played small roles in TV series such as Boardwalk Empire, Power, Law & Order, SVU, Louie, and Rescue Me, according to his IMDb biography. According to the charges and trial testimony, Jones and Stokes met during the victim's birthday party at the Queens Club. Both parties were involved in an altercation related to Stokes' inappropriate behavior toward female party guests. After Stokes refused Jones' request that he leave, Jones was injured during a physical altercation with other partygoers. Sounds like it means he got beat up, right? Stokes got beat up by Jones and his peoples because he was violating women at the party, touching them, saying inappropriate things to them, right? Being inappropriate. Unfortunately, like too many guys are at parties, right? Especially with alcohol. I mean, in general, but especially when alcohol is involved, too many people get beside themselves. They could talk to women, touch women. He got approached. He got pressed. He got beat up. On or about January 29th, 2021, Stokes placed a GPS tracking device on the undercarriage of Jones' Jeep Grand Cherokee and used it to track him down on the day of the murder. Like they said, real-life crime drama. He stalked him, knew what car he drove, and put a GPS tracking device under his car so he could follow. He was committed to killing him. It was insane. Like, not like it wasn't like the heat of the moment you got beat up and something happened and somebody lost a life. You left, you plotted, you planned. This is drastic. 2 black men. This is horrible. At around 2:30 p.m. on February 7th, less than 2 weeks later, Stokes exited a parked Audi SUV with New Jersey license plates at the intersection of 200th Street and 118th Avenue. Stokes circled the area of 200th Street and Linden Boulevard on foot for approximately 15 minutes before he walked towards Jones' vehicle. He circled the block, probably contemplating, realizing, thinking that this is not worth it. Clearly he wasn't thinking because he still did it. Walked upon Jones' vehicle, took out a handgun, and fired 11 times into the Jeep. Jones suffered multiple gunshot wounds to the head and chest. Police from the 113th Precinct in Jamaica and EMS units responded to the scene. Jones was pronounced dead at the location. And again, this can happen to anybody, any place, but like this is why personally I don't want to go to certain events. I don't go to certain events because a fight can happen, right? You could be around certain people. I don't want to be nowhere where there's alcohol, right? Because people get drunk and they get beside themselves and something could happen. You get into a fight, you beat somebody up, you come back and they come back and shoot you. I got into a fight. I beat the guy up. He came back and shot me. Literally, like that's my story, right? Like I was 19 years old. Guy was 28. We had an altercation that stemmed from months from gambling, right? It brewed. We finally had a fight. I beat him up in front of everybody. He came back less than 2 hours later and shot me Monday morning, June 2nd, 2003, sitting on the bench in front of my building with my friend. Shot me 3 times. Thankfully, I didn't die. I could have got killed. Right? He had the gun in my face. You guys, if you know me, you know the story. If you've seen my documentary, you've seen the story. You've seen the story. He came with the gun in my face, lowered it, shot me in my legs. I thought I was dead because I looked him in his eyes. I seen the gun. He had murder in his eyes. He lowered it though, shot me 3 times in my legs, ran away. We had beef for a whole year. I ended up going to prison for a separate shooting. He didn't change his life. He ended up getting killed. Right? Like it sucks, man. It sucks. Stokes drove back to his Regal Park apartment later that afternoon and returned the Audi SUV to a rental location in Hackensack, New Jersey on February 16th. So like he rented a car, killed this man, and went back home into life like nothing happened. Like, man, this is insane. Sup, dog? What's going on? He said, fighting ain't worth it to begin with, especially nowadays. People can't lose with grace. That's a fact. And I say that all the time. I don't want to fight nobody. I don't want to get into a fight. I can take a butt whipping. Like, I can get beat up. I can take it. Like, I've been beat up before. I've been stomped. I've been kicked. Right? I've had those things happen. And at no point, I've been jumped. And at no point did I go get a gun. At no point did I go get anything. Right? I was always ready to fight more. Like, okay, y'all jump me. I want to fight all of y'all one-on-one. I come from that era. Right? Where, like, I could fight. right? And not just that era, because even that era had people who were punks who got weapons and things like that. I come from a family of fighters. Both sides of my family, we could fight, right? Uncles were boxers, boxing champions. We could fight. And I could take a butt whipping. I've had busted noses. I've had busted lips. I've been hit in my mouth with a Moet bottle and still didn't go get a gun. Still didn't go get a weapon to kill nobody. Hit in my mouth with a Moet bottle, my tooth twisted, right? Like that happened to me, right? Like hitting my head with sticks, canes. Never want to go get a gun. I come from the era of fighting, but everybody doesn't. And so, like, I don't want to fight nobody because you fight somebody, you beat them up, you embarrass them. One, you could kill them fighting them, they can hit their head. That's number one. Like, I'm very conscious of that. I know somebody, my little brother's uncle on his dad's side, right? My little brother's uncle on his dad's side had a fight with somebody, fell, hit his head on the tree branch, and died. And died from a fight. Not a weapon, got punched, fell, right? You know, people get knocked out, knocked down, hit his head, and died. Insane. Insane. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Sup Dog. Thank you so much. I'm glad too, man. I bounced back again. I didn't change my life immediately for a whole year. I did want to hurt him. Not because I lost the fight, but because he shot me, right? He shot me in front of my friends, my family, in front of my window. My mother's in the window, 9 a.m. in the morning. He shot me, right? But again, thankfully that life worked out, because now my life is completely different. In the same community that I helped destroy, I now help rebuild. And that guy who shot me, his mother, now comes to me sometimes for vegan food. All right, but let's finish the article. Intent or revenge, Isaiah Stokes placed a GPS on the victim's car and tracked Tyrone Jones down to Linden Boulevard, where he ruthlessly shot the man 11 times as he sat in his car. Cat said, "My office is laser focused on gun violence, and we will utilize every tool at our disposal to investigate, arrest, and prosecute those who use deadly guns on our streets." Detective Daniel Collins of the NYPD's 113th Precinct and retired Detective Michael Noss, formerly of the NYPD's Queens South Homicide Squad, investigated the case and ultimately arrested the defendant on July 16, 2021 at his apartment with the assistance of the NYPD's Regional Fugitive Task Force. The execution of a search warrant at the defendant's apartment revealed documents connecting the defendant to the GPS tracking device that was found beneath the victim's vehicle. Stokes was convicted of second-degree murder and 2 counts of criminal possession of a weapon. Queens Supreme Court Justice set the defendant's sentencing date for March 21st, at which time Stokes faces up to 25 years to life in prison. "I thank our prosecutors and the NYPD detectives who built this case," Kat said. "The jury has spoken, and the defendant faces up to 25 years to life as sentencing for his criminal actions." And now I'm not a person who believes in the criminal justice system, right? I believe in restorative justice. 100%. I believe in healing justice. And I want to know, like, how do we practice healing justice when there are people out here like this taking people's lives, right? Like destroying families. How do you practice healing justice and restorative justice? What does that look like, right? Like, I don't think prisons, obviously, not the answer. The state makes money when one of our people go to jail. It's so hard, man. It's so hard. It's so hard. It's so hard. It's so hard, man. It's so hard. But that's our news for the day, guys, right? Sending rest in peace. Moment of silence for brother Tyrone Jones. And his family. May he rest peacefully. May his family find comfort to move on, to endure. All right. Let's keep going. We're gonna move right along to our third segment of the day. All right, let's check the comments. Said, "Damn, God bless D. Wow, we need to pray for our brothers." Absolutely, we do. Not everyone can accept a butt whipping. That's what said Food said. Unfortunately, absolutely. Right? You win some. My love said, "You win some, you lose some." Absolutely, and that's a line from Friday, right? Pops told Craig, said, "You win some, you lose some, but you live to fight another day." Right? Like, yo, this is, and my heart breaks. Right? Like, again, I didn't know the brother Tyrone Jones, but I know people who have been killed. I know my brother picked this similar situation happened, right? Killed by a brother who he grew up with, a brother that we grew up with from the same block, right? He walked around the block. He walked the car in Queensbridge just in 2022, 2021. He walked around the block, right? He walked past the car a couple times and then shot him 6 times, right? Like, yo, it sucks, man. Like, it sucks, yo. Like, we just taking each other's lives, man. Like, oh, man, it hurts so much. It hurts so much. It hurts so much. And I cry as someone who was a victim of gun violence and someone who perpetrated gun violence. Like, I just wish we could love ourselves. Because if you love yourself, like, you're not going to let anybody take you there. If you love yourself, you're not going to want to go there. right? Like, because like my freedom is the most important thing to me. My life and my freedom are the most important thing to me. I don't want to get killed and I don't want to go to jail at all, let alone for a murder to face 25 years. Insane, 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 insane. But let's go along to our tip of the day. Today's tip, we're going to change the energy. My tip for you all is also my tip for myself. Create more content. Create more content, create more content, create more content. I mean, like I said, you should do this generally for yourself and your family. Content doesn't just mean social media. Content means writing letters and books, taking photos and printing them, photo albums, making videos, editing them and keeping them, or keeping them on a hard drive, keeping them on a card so your family can watch later. This is a way to record your history for your family to learn from and build on in some way. But even more so, if you do have a business, whether an online business or brick and mortar, you want to create more content. You need commercials, you need advertising, you need marketing, again, specifically around your niche. It will bring more eyes and ears to what you are building, thus increasing the potential for new clients and customers, right? In this social media age, we no longer have to wait for a big check or some major company to invest in us to create quality media. Nope, we just got to be open-minded, not too shy, a little courageous, and most of all, we got to be creative, right? But like, create more content, create more content, create more content, create more content, create more content. If you have a business, create content, right? If you well, again, regardless, if you don't have a business and you're working, create content. It could be reading, like do something, right, for your family to build from, right? Create more content so you are strong for your tears. Yo, thank you, brother. I appreciate it. I believe so, right? I believe so. It was a time when I couldn't cry, but like that's why I exploded, right? That's why I ended up going to prison, because I couldn't cry. I didn't cry, and like I held all emotion in, and then something happened, and I snapped. And that's what happens to a lot of us, right? When we don't release the emotion gets built up. Emotion, energy, emotion, it has to move through you, right? But when it doesn't move through you and you hold it, eventually you have a higher propensity to snap. And that's what I did that landed me in prison for 3 years. And so, like, when I got to cry, man, I cry. And I cry for my brothers. I cry for my brothers because I know what it's like to want to take somebody's life. I know what it's like to have your life, like, potentially taken. I know what that's like to not care about yourself. I know what that's like to not care if you lived or died. I know what that's like. I've been there when I did not care if I had a death wish. I've been there. And so, like, nah, man, I cry for us. I cry for us. I cry for the parents who bury their children. I cry for the children who bury their parents. I cry for the siblings. I've lost 3 siblings, 3 biological siblings. I would say, thankfully, none of them have been murdered. It was all like health-related issues, cancer and things like that, right? Like, but like, that's bad, but nobody else took their life. And so, if anything, I can say I'm grateful for that. All right, so that's what I tell the brothers at the church all the time. Bring me to your church, brother. What church you at? Where you at? Where you at? Bring me to your church, man. Let me speak at your church, brother. I would love to come to your church and speak to the brothers. I got a couple of great brothers I could bring, and we could talk to the brothers at the church, man. Right? We got to get this thing together. But yeah, that's the tip, man. Create content, right? We're gonna move right along to our 4th and final segment of the day. Our build of the day, as always, staying with the tip of the day. Staying with the tip of the day regarding content. I think more businesses, whether small or large, should be creating more social media content specifically, right? Whether it's Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, or YouTube, or a combination of all of them, right? We're doing ourselves a huge disservice by not creating as much content as humanly possible. Eventually, it'll pay off, right? Eventually, it will pay off. Like me doing this show every day, Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 9:30 a.m., every 100 episodes doing 1 hour, right? On a location, a live studio audience. Eventually, this thing is going to grow and it's going to be worldwide. And it's going to be like billboards with the show, and it's going to be everywhere. We're going to have live audience. We're going to be giving out merch for free, and it's going to grow, right? Eventually, this thing is going to grow because I'm going to grow, and I'm not going to stop until I'm satisfied, and I ain't never satisfied, all right? I'm always hungry for more, right? But create more content as humanly possible, right? You not only have to believe that it will pay off, you have to know that it will pay off. Like I said, I know that this thing is going to pay off. Marketing and promotions have always been crucial to the growth of a business. Social media makes things so much easier, especially for the small business, the solopreneur. The cost can be minimal and the impact can be monumental. You can go viral, right? Collaboration also helps with this. So if you have other people in your niche, right? For example, I'm considering reaching out to a brother to do a vegan collaboration, right? I'm vegan. He's vegan. He has a much larger following than I do. Consider reaching out to him. Also, there's a woman, a sister. She's a vegan chef, right? She has a cookbook coming out, right? Like, I'm going to collaborate with her and do an interview with her, and that'll help grow my social media, right? It'll be a platform for her to share some of her stuff, introduce her to my community who may not know her, and introduce me to her community who may not know me, right? So collaboration helps. Connecting with others in your industry who may have a larger following, beneficial to you and to them. So those are the tips. That's the build. Just create content, man. Focus on creating more content. It doesn't have to cost a lot of money. You don't got to spend a lot of money on advertising, but just be consistent, be creative, think outside the box, and like trust the process and have fun with the process, right? Like don't just trust the process, have fun with the process. Have fun with the process, understanding that like all of it matters. Every single step is still a step and is all in the right direction. And that is the process of progression and all of that good stuff, right? But listen, man, I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in, right? Again, it was a heavy episode, right? Talking about the murder from one brother murdering another brother is always heavy, but it's news. It's our community. It's my specific community of Queens, New York. And yeah, guys, that's it, man. Listen, I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Please do join us right back here tomorrow, same time, same place, Monday through Friday. We are here always 9 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. Facebook Live, YouTube Live, Instagram Live, and TikTok Live. Tomorrow is Wednesday, Wellness Wednesday, March 12th, 2025. Again, my birthday is March 14th. If you are in New York City or can get to New York City, I would love to see you at my birthday event on March 14th, Friday evening, 6 to 9. If you cannot make that, I would love to see you Saturday, March 15th, 12 to 3. Free event on the 15th. My birthday event, you do got to pay. Everything is included, though, food, beverages, all of that stuff. Saturday, my business launch, business shower, live guided meditation, live coaching, right? Live interview, gift bags, stress balls, a network bingo, as well as trying a new sandwich that I collaborated with the vegan company on, the Stillmatic, which is a vegan rib ring and mac and cheese sandwich. If you're on my social medias, scroll through. I posted it yesterday. I started posting the sandwich. It's absolutely amazing. I'm going to post another video of the sandwich today. And yeah, guys, listen, I'll see you tomorrow. Remember, it ain't getting knocked down. That's the problem. It's staying down. So get up. The power is in you. As always, be kind to yourself and be kind to each other. Peace and love. Be great and make it a great one, as my love says. Absolutely. You as well. Sefu said 9:31. Thanks for the extra time. I appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much for celebrating.